Hello everyone, welcome to today's podcast. Myself Shatabdi Kushani.
Myself Purva Chakraborty.
We are the teachers of Little English School Kirti Shrivoni. And आज हमारे बीच है Mr. Rajiv Shukrado sir, who is an author of the book
Beyond Marks.
Why Emotion Matters in Education. And we are really fortunate to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you, Shatabdi and Purva, for the introduction. So today we are here to have some insight about my book, Beyond Marks. The book Beyond Marks have been written to highlight that there are certain things beyond merely scoring high marks in the examinations. As we have been observing since time immemorial, students are always interested in scoring high marks. High marks for their own sake, high marks for the sake of their parents, and high marks for the sake of society. Absolutely. So, this is being treated as the only parameter for success. If somebody is not able to score high marks, he or she is treated as a failure. So, this book is aimed at dispelling this notion and to mention that there are certain things which are more important than scoring high marks. So to take you through the summary of the book, I would like to first have your attention to the cover page of the book. The cover page of the book has been designed in such a way that this itself gives a very clear idea about the book without even opening a single page of the book. So this cover page is a metaphor and this is symbolic, and this has a tree, as you can look into it, and this tree has certain branches and it also has the roots. The branches signify learning and growth. So the branch part has the knowledge, the critical thinking, the creativity, the problem solving. All these aspects are required, or all these aspects are basically used in a school. As you teachers, you are teaching all these things to the students because these are required for scoring good marks. So this is the learning and growth part, and this is required so that an individual becomes competent. Now if you come to the roots part, the roots part has the emotion part. The emotion part, as you can see very minutely, the emotion part has the self-awareness, the emotional regulation, the empathy, compassion, values and character, and also resilience. So these parts, is it required for scoring high marks? It is not required. It is not required for scoring high marks. But these are the root part, and if you nurture the roots, the branches will go higher and higher. So this part is not getting attention today. But this book highlights that we have to give attention to the emotional part. And if we give attention to the emotional part, then a child will grow into a self-assured, confident and competent individual. So this is the basic intention of the book, and this book has basically three parts. The first part is the introduction about social emotional learning. The second part is advice to the teachers like you, how you should conduct in the classes, and the third part is advice for the parents, how the parents should be dealing with their children in the home. So this is basically the gist of the book.
What is the one message? What is the message for the parents from this book?
As I have mentioned, one of the very important part of this book is the parents, because the home is the first emotional classroom for a child, because a child will be seeing its parents, and the child will be very keenly observing what the elder people around him or her are continuously doing. They will try to observe how they are talking, how they are reacting, how they are behaving in a stress situation, how they are settling their differences, and these will remain in their memory, and this will create the emotional world of a child. Like you see, I also very clearly remember some of the memories from my very young childhood when I was 5 or 6 years of age. So this is very important for the parents, so that they should create such an environment that the child should have a emotionally safe place, because emotional safety is very
And they should
important.
give their child maximum time for sharing their emotion with them.
Yes, correct. So normally what we do, if the child comes to us, we will not listen to it. We will only
Most of the times.
we will only give them advice.
Nowadays, that our day-to-day life is so busy that we need me time. That is why we used to
Ignore the child.
and give mobile to the child. So that is
Yes.
the main problem.
So that is what is there in the parent segment. That parents should be,
Listening.
they should be listening more. They should be asking certain questions. If the child comes from the school, they should ask what happened today. You tell us something about the day. How was the day? What are the good things or bad things that has happened to you? And then the child will open up, and they will also feel that yes, they are also being given some importance. And in that way, gradually they will have certain emotional stability. Otherwise, the child, as I have already told, because of the constant comparison, pressure, stress, they are in a very disturbed situation. So the parent has got the responsibility to give them some time and space.
I just want to ask you something. You had a long corporate career, 36 years of your career. It have so many stories with you. So I want to ask you something. Have you faced any of the relative experience regarding that academic success is not enough for the day-to-day life? Or
Yeah, so that is what I just was trying to tell. You have picked up my words. So basically, I have seen that in the industry, when a new joinee is appointed, then the appointment is purely based on the academic success. We call it gate score, and the emotional part is basically not given any attention, given the least attention. So what we have seen is that many top scholars in the gate, or many very young individuals who are academically very brilliant, they fail to succeed as an effective manager. This is because they lack the emotion, and what I have seen in my experience, that after 5, 6, 7 years, the engineers or the industry people, they are sent to the business schools, maybe IIMs and other places, to get some training on emotional competence. So, but that is already too late. So what I feel, that is what I have mentioned in the book. So if these aspects are taken care in the very early childhood, then what will happen is that the child will develop the emotional competence along with the academic success. So it will not be necessary then to send them for training and make them emotionally competent at a much later age. And once the child will come out, and he will be industry ready, he or she will be industry ready. So this is also one of the facts which motivated me to write this book and to tell teachers like you to start implementing SEL from the very early school day. Now, can I ask you to share one maybe experience each of you, how you see SEL and how you feel that a child can be treated as emotionally competent or resilient in your class?
as I said, sir, ACL is all about day-to-day life. When a child is sharing their food, that is ACL. When a child is saying sorry without explaining him or her about the fault he had done or the thing he had done, he is understanding the thing.
He should say sorry.
Yes, he should say sorry. That is ACL. Then when he is angry, we sometimes become angry about many things, about many emotions. We are unable to.
You are unable to control yourself.
control
Yes.
yourself.
Hmm.
तो बच्चे भी सेम करते हैं, बट उस सिचुएशन में हमारा तो ठीक है, हम we can manage ourselves at some of the situations, but बच्चे they can't manage themselves by their own. तो but वो जब अपने सिचुएशन में आके they used to just breathe in, inhale and inhale, just breathe out. That is ACL. I think that scoring maths, scoring 100 out of 100 on maths is not only the benchmark of a student. He should be equally stepping forward to emotional balance.
Right.
He should get values in their life and the academic support also. Because everything will make him or her a good person.
Yes, yes. As in this book also, what has been mentioned is that if a child becomes empathetic, then he becomes kind. If a child becomes compassionate, he becomes caring. And if a child becomes emotionally stable, then he becomes quite calm. So as Purba has mentioned, controlling self or maintaining self in a difficult situation is really a challenge. It is a challenge even for a grown-up individual. So for children it will be very difficult. So once we teach the once we practice the emotional learning, once we practice ACL, then gradually a child will become emotionally balanced from a very young age. So that is the advantage of social emotional learning, because we have also seen nowadays so many academically very brilliant students, they could not score marks and they are ending their life in very unfortunate situation, and this is happening in so many places. So this also again proves that although they were highly academic.
This is for society pressure. Because
Yes.
from the parents, from the parents,
Yes.
their parents get social, like society pressure,
Yes.
parents get it.
In comparison also, they compare this,
Yes.
compare.
Compare their child with others.
So as we have told, now this comparison and all society pressure, and in spite of all these things, if the child is emotionally balanced, then they should be able to control themselves. They should not take in such harsh steps. What we have discussed so far, that today the life has become very difficult. There is constant pressure, there is continuous comparison, there is distraction. So in spite of all these things, how you can maintain your calm and composure, that is also social emotional regulation. So their pressure will be coming from the parents, from the neighbor, but you should be able to control yourself. So that is the main essence of the book, and I would request teachers, the parents and everybody to get a copy of the book and have a look at the book, because this is very relevant as far as today is concerned. And as you have mentioned, the G-Learn has already started, and they have already implemented the ACL for the even preschool and for the young kids. And in our own school also, we have
Yes, sir.
already
Yes, sir.
implemented some of the aspects. And we hope that these things will be implemented in various places, in various degrees. And it is not only for the benefit of an individual, it is for the benefit of the society as a whole. Because once,
Everybody should be aware of ACL.
yes, there has to be an awareness, and as I was telling, it is not for an individual benefit. It will be benefit for
As a
society
society.
as a whole, for everybody as a whole.
So for the
So-
society it is important.
It is important. So that is the objective of the book, and this book I would like to thank you people also. The book is very crisp. It is less than 100 pages, only around 90 pages. And once you go through the book, it will give you a good. It is sort of a handbook also, so that you can go through it and you can implement it in your.
We will definitely
Yes,
sure,
sir,
sir.
we are really excited. Yes, to read
We
this
are
book.
thankful that you had taken this initiative for the
Yes.
society actually.
So I would also like to thank once again all of you for supporting me in writing this book, and also for the fact that you have already started implementing some of the aspects, and I am sure this is going to go
Help
a,
many individuals.
yes, it is going to go a long way, and if it is implemented at least in some of the places, I will feel that this effort has met its objective, and we are going to create a society, the society which will be emotionally balanced, which will comprise of the people who will be emotionally balanced, who will be emotionally stable. Because already today we are having the number of meritorious students. Everywhere you see 98%, 99% is flooded with all the marks. But there is some sort of a deficiency in the part of the roots. So I am sure now this also will be able to take care. We have a very matured and emotionally stable society. So I thank both of you
Thank you,
for
sir.
coming to this podcast and make a sort of a publicity for this book. And this book will be released maybe in next 15 to 20 days of time. And I hope that people will take benefit, take advantage of this book. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir,
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for sharing.
Writing this book, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.